Good evening. Welcome to your surprise, non-live Mellow Direct on Friday, October 22nd. Thank you for opening the video. This was not live. This was not pre-scheduled. Nobody with a perfect stream attendance rate missed anything. When I was going to give one person a heart attack, but nothing was missed. I just dropped this. Because, this was a direct that I thought I was going to make at the end of the year, and I said as recently as the Emmy stream, thank you all so much for coming to that. That was the most fun day. I said that I would have a direct at the end of the year that was pretty big, but due to the bigness of this announcement, I did it sooner. I just happened to have a free day today. Free. Report from the battlefield. Grad school is so stressful that I've been getting head colds about it. And I can't rest them off because I can't take time off of work, because I can't take time off from studying, because I can't heal, and I can't work, and I can't heal. So I just keep getting head colds. And I had a couple days off this week. I just tore them out violently, and that has left me with a great moment to make a video. So, you don't need to be left in suspense any longer. I'm deleting the channel, and I'm getting a VTuber rig. Bert. That means psych, where I come from. There's no public reason. There's no public discussion of a VTuber rig. I don't know where you get that idea. There's nothing. And I'm not deleting the channel. Actually, it's been 6 months or so. I totally forget if it was March or like late March or early April. I'm gonna say 6 months since I started making videos. Yay! I have had a pivot that I want to make. That's the big discussion tonight. When I had the idea for this channel, it was over a year ago, and the idea was that it would be very Metroidvania focused. I thought that it'd be so cool to make a channel with a hyper-specific niche focus, and I do like channels like that. I kind of went back in my head for a long time, back and forth in my head, between like, oh, I just want to make content creation because I like it generally, and sort of like, I want it because I want to make a specific topic. I want to do something highly specific. And I have now had a year of getting into Metroidvanias deeper. And, doing some reflection, I realized pretty fast once I started to look back in August, I'd say, that, we've done a year of this, right? A year ago, call it a year and 2 months, I hadn't played any Metroidvanias besides Hollow Knight. Frankly, I was in a pretty... Let's just say I'm coming off my emo phase. I was in a pretty funky headspace when I had the idea for this channel, which in some ways makes some parts of it so inspired and raw and, so deep and authentic. But, also, like, what was I thinking? I really thought that I was going to not do this until after I graduated, because I don't have the time to do this. But I like doing this stuff so much that I ended up starting way sooner than I thought. And that means that I didn't really have the time to get as into and connected to Metroidvanias as I thought I was going to when it came time to start making videos. So, like, it's been a fine 6 months making videos. It's fun doing stuff. But, I realize now that, again, I didn't come at this like with a Metroid tattoo or a Castlevania tattoo. I don't even have either of those things yet. Metroid's new to me. Castlevania is new to me. I thought that I was going to have 2 years to just like become enveloped in it and then start, but instead I started in it and I'm not very enveloped. So all of this to say, I'm kind of changing the constitution of the channel, or the structure of the channel upon how which it is founded. It's not a rebrand. Almost nothing is going to change visually. I'm just pretty much going to be making the same stuff that I am now, plus more stuff is the gist of this. So I'll stop beating around the bush. Basically, this is no longer a channel dedicated to Metroidvanias, or I later made it 2D action games. It's not dedicated to anything. There's no one focus that is the sole topic of it, the sole core of it, because as cool as that is, my tastes change really frequently, and while I am still getting deeper and deeper into Metroidvanias and stuff, like, I'm wearing the Hot Topic Kirby shirt, I got a mushroom, like, you know, my Metroidvania emo phase was awesome, but it's not the only stuff that I'm into, you know. I'm not sad enough to need to always be playing sad games anymore. So it's given me a bit of a perspective on, you know, I need this to be more flexible, because I love making content, and whatever you call this. It was just YouTubing back in the day. I guess now I'm iCarly. I love being iCarly for you. It's the best. It's just great. And my interests, however, kind of go back and forth. And as much as I would love to see a lot of things stay really firm, I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on them. So this channel is not really stuck on any one thing now. This is just Mellowvania, as it's going to continue to be called, which I guess we're just going to have to use as some kind of nickname. We're just going to say that Mellow, which is an actual nickname that I use, is short for Mellowvania. Well, that's just, we'll work with this. We'll work with that. It's not just, you know, maybe I got the name Mellowvania. That's my full name. When you're mad at me, you call me that because I love Metroidvanias, and I do love them a lot. I really do. But it's not specifically a Metroidvania channel. It's just named after the person who runs it. We'll run with it. The point of all that is, there's going to be multiple pillars upon which the channel is made. And I'm very serious about picking them. And it will be very clear, obviously, like, what a mainstay of the channel is. You know, I'll be very clear, like, oh, obviously this is a big part of the channel, so this is that. And then someday, you know, 3 years from now, I might be like, you know what, I'm just so tired of pillar C, I'm done, we're letting it go. But at that point there'll be like 7 pillars, so people who are fans of the other things will just be fine. I'm kind of future-proofing it in that way. You know, like I keep kind of repeating the point, I don't know what my tastes are going to be forever, so I really want something that can kind of grow with me. And we will now roll out the pillars as they are. So I am mixing all of the game things, pretty much. This is a pretty big one, isn't it? The first pillar, as you can probably tell, is video game love. And I'll reorganize one of the playlists to reflect that later. Appreciation for games that I like, Metroidvanias or otherwise. Hype for stuff that I like, which is usually going to be indie games and stuff. I'm not going to etch 2D games or indie games into my name anymore. I'm not going to be like, this is devoted to indie games, because that's really sick. But rather than kind of posing myself as like an expert or a specialist or something, I'd rather just say a massive pillar, the massive pillar of this channel, is video games. And by what I choose to make content in, you'll see that I love indie games and that I love Metroidvanias. I'd rather do the doing and do the loving and making stuff for things that I enjoy versus setting this pressure on the games to sustain them. I realize Metroid has got pretty big shoulders, but she can't carry everything, so nothing that I make content on now is going to stop having content made for it. It's just that I'm not going to rest the entire house on the shoulders of Samus and Alucard anymore, because it's just a very narrow framework. They're just a normal part of the video game section, which is, because I love them the most, they're gonna get the most content, but will be future-proofed in case someday I'm like, screw Samus, I'm done with that. You gotta be ready for that kind of massive pivot. The second pillar, this is a fun one. It's chilling. Just hanging out. This includes interviews and collaborative things. Like I've talked to friends about in the past doing videos together. There's like cool small YouTube channels I've seen who just have kind of pitched openly like, do other small channels want to collaborate? And there was even one I saw recently, it just seemed like a very thoughtful guy running it, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that. So one pillar of this channel is just going to be doing stuff with people. At the moment, that's pretty much, I can't think of anything besides games. I don't have like a friend to interview lined up who has no interest in games at all. For the moment, all these things are pretty game related, but the best part of that for you right now probably is streams. Streaming has been really fun, even when it has nothing to do with the topic of the channel as it previously was. So streaming is now totally free. I can stream whatever the hell I want. Streaming is just streaming, just to get people hanging out on the weekends. I think it is just so much more important that there's just a chill thing to do, just somebody to listen to. I just want to make a space for people to hang out and listen to a content person that they like doing a fun thing, and I'm not going to restrict it to just one thing or another now. You know what, to skip ahead a bit, to emphasize this, the ideas I've had for November, upcoming Mario month, baby. Not officially Mario month, but I keep having all these ideas involving Mario. I got into Super Mario World a couple weeks ago. I'm so freaking stressed. It's just like the perfect, nicest, smallest little game. Probably the game of all time. And it just speaks to me. I love it so much. I played it like once when I was a kid, but now I look at it as an adult and I'm like, this is the Mario game. I love this one. So I might stream that in November, but very fun. This is where the Smash announcement kind of thing would start. Longtime friends and fans of the channel will remember something we used to do for streams that I know at least a few people have been wanting to see come back, and that is Grid Night. Grid Night alongside Squid Night. Grid Night was streaming tactics games. Tactics games haven't made an appearance on this channel yet. Squid Night was streaming Splatoon. We would hang out and play Splatoon, and that's totally on the table now for streams. Squid Night, why not? I love Splatoon, and I've already streamed it on this channel illegally, so why not just change the channel structure to make it valid under the Chillin' framework? Tactics games. I've been playing Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope this last couple 24 hours. This game goes hard. This game's really friggin' good, guys. And I, frankly, wouldn't have the time to play a game that I want to sit down in and play like 2 hours of in a sitting in November normally, because I have work to do. But if we stream it, then I can play it. So I'm probably going to stream Mario and Rabbids at some point in November, and I'm possibly going to stream Mario World. So just to give you a taste of the future, like, I'm doing whatever the heck I want with these streams now. I didn't plan this. I didn't plan this. This is my guitar cup. I have a guitar cup because I love music. I've always loved music. And music and I go back and forth, you know, as lifetime passions do. But, you know, music has been on a low for a long time. It's kind of allowed games to become like my main passion. But music is one of those things that I could see eventually, in some way or another, becoming something that I content create for. I don't open up YouTube to watch videos about music or anything, but when I was debating what to call the third pillar, I was like, video game music? Soundtracks? And I was like, why not give the people some stability? And just say music, because music can't change. Yeah, right now there's a tiny music playlist that's just my Symphony of the Night Disgaea 2 playlist, but I'm just gonna call the third pillar music and let whatever happens happens. Right now I don't have any solid plans besides video game music. I'm not going to start making bongo tutorials anytime soon, but again, if it's 2 years go down the road, I might really want to make bongo tutorials on here, so now I've got the ability to do that. And I know that sounds like a gigantic pivot when this was pretty much a gaming channel 3 hours ago, but you know, it's something that I want to do gradually. I hope you can see all the thought that I'm putting in to kind of like ease it naturally and set things up so that like as few people are as disappointed as possible when I pivot. And I really appreciate having my 44. We recently lost a few people, subscribers, but half that demographic is people who just found me at an anime convention, so that's not gaming. And then a solid chunk of the rest is just friends of mine who would follow me for anything that I do. So I don't love the idea of pivoting really hard and shaking people's expectations, but if only like 5 people are genuinely here to watch me play video games, then I do sincerely feel bad for them who are going to be like, man, I didn't come here to see a Mars Volta concert review, but better to pivot when you have 45 subscribers versus 45,000 or something like that. I hope you see that I'm kind of trying to do this slowly and with a plan for the future to avoid like a drastic shift. As I mentioned before, 3 years down the line I find out I hate Metroidvanias. It would be a real bummer to have to be like, delete the whole thing, because now I've got 100k people following me specifically to hear about Axiom Verge. If you are here to watch me talk about Axiom Verge, make some noise, because I'd love to do that more, but at the moment, it doesn't seem like one of the more popular offerings. It's hard to gauge popularity when you have such a teeny kernel subscriber base, so I try not to focus too hard on that, but I do consider it sometimes. Oh, we did it! We finally got that off our chests. Let's get some more headlines going before I'm gone, though. While we're all here, you know? Please take a look at this. So November streams, as I mentioned, are kind of becoming Mario themed. That's not a hard rule, but I'm probably not going to think of anything different in that time. The November video spot has a couple things going for it right now. I'm not going to say firmly one way or another, but I would like to make a video in November, which is different from October. Though I have quite appreciated the time I've been able to devote to things like this in October by not doing a video, so that's probably not going to change. Even if I do kind of branch out into stuff, you know, it might not be what you want to see every month if it's too diverse, but for now, until the end of graduation in the spring, I think a video a month is going to be okay. And streaming is going to continue bi-weekly probably, except for this one time when it's Celeste month. We talked about this a little bit in the Metroid Dread stream, but if you're new to this concept, in January I have some bonus freedom. I'm writing my thesis, and I'm going to use 2 nights a week to stream Celeste the entire month. I don't see myself chickening out of this. I think I'm probably going to really appreciate the routine, honestly, because this winter break, it's a long time away from school. I've just declared a state of Celeste month. Get ready for that. You like strawberries? You like trans stuff? Yeah. I'm just gonna make a fresh file. The first week will probably be playing through the story for people who haven't seen it or who want to see it again. And then the rest of it will just be doing the B-sides and maybe some C-sides. And each year I pretty much replay it now, so it's fun getting better each time, and we'll see how far I can get. And yeah, that's gonna be a whole celebration for the 5th anniversary of the game and my getting into it and stuff. And I have a few videos planned. I don't know if it's like 1 or 2 or 3, but I'm cooking a couple videos up for that month, so there'll be a lot of Celeste festivities. Celestivities. I'm not leaking all of this. This is just stream ideas. I'm not leaking them. You gotta save something for the future. December stream is undecided. I believe I'll find time to stream in December. You may really like the December game. You may. Halloween stream is. I pitched this as a mixed bag when we were at the Dread stream. Now it is going to be either Friday or Saturday next weekend. I don't really know. Maybe? I can't really say. You'll see. You'll see when I make the little card. You'll see it. But I'm pivoting. See, I can do this now. Instead of trying to stick to the classic Mellowvania genre, I'm streaming Luigi's Mansion. I don't know where all this Mario energy is coming from. Maybe it's the movie trailer just spoke to me so deeply. That's like my game. It'd be fun as heck to stream the original. I probably could stream it all the way through, but I'm not feeling crimey. It would take a little bit of crime to get that going. I can't record my GameCube. We're gonna play 3 because I have a file going, and 3's cool. So that'll be our Halloween game. I'm looking forward to that. There might be an appearance from a certain other Halloween game that often gets thrown into streams just because I don't want to stop playing and I want something goofy to do. You might see a certain game, but we'll see about that. Year-end videos. I think now we're done. We can end this with the year-end videos. I'm gonna do a top 10 games of the year. Not ones that came out this year, but top ones that I've played. And the more YouTube that I watch, the more I realize like a lot of people do their top 10 lists this way, so I don't feel that bad about it, but top 10 games that I played this year for the first time. Yeah, for the first time. There will be a corresponding music playlist to go along with it of all my favorite tracks, kind of making some kind of cohesive vibe or vibes, some kind of cohesive theme. Maybe themes, but either way it'll be pulled from all those top 10 games. That might be out in January, it might be out in December, probably January, but yeah, I'm working on that now. It's gonna be really cool. I played some amazing games this year, so it is competitive as heck, and there's some new contenders, like literally as of 2 weeks ago. October's been kind of better for games. Like I got more tired but less depressed, and I started playing cuter, warmer games like I haven't played for a long time. So Nintendo's been coming in and giving me some hits, some real hits I've been enjoying from them. All right, that is all we have, finally. Whew. I didn't realize how information heavy that was. I should have had like visuals to go with it to make it easier to watch, but oh well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really tired, but I'm glad I got that out there. Yeah, so it's a restructuring, huge restructuring, but mostly behind the scenes. Not much is going to change. Like not that much is going to change, but now I feel good about it. I feel like there's a plan. I feel like there's a plan for the future, and I love those. But that is all the time I have left. I need to go back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS. See you next time.